Alright, here is my diagnostic video for tic-tac-toe. First, to prove that this is me, this is my FSO, Armando Harris. Next, I'll show you my references. I use this video as my basis, Unity tutorial 2-player tic-tac-toe basics from Tecmon in. I also used Unity's tic-tac-toe with only UI elements as a reference, not really for coding, but just to get inspiration from. Also, Unity documentation to understand scene manager, scene loading, and stuff like that. So let me get into the game, show you how it functions. So if I'm gonna let crosses win, you can see that the turn changes. Next is cross's turn. Once I'm gonna hit it, I don't know how to fix this, but it'll say cross wins, but it'll change really fast. So pay close attention. Also for not, if not wins, it'll do the same. So for a draw condition, it'll also say draw and restart the level. So for how my game works, let's look at the scripts. So this is my main script, which is game script. You can see I'm using the UI and scene management. So here are all of my variables. The two game objects cross knots. This seed is to see which turn it is. And this also references it. This instruction text is referring to this that was down below that changes for every turn. These texts are all referencing the text that coincides with the grid spaces, and I use that to check for the win conditions. This win text pops up only at the end of at either a win or a draw. This cursor and button I didn't use. I was trying to play around with it, but I didn't end up using it. And this move count is to check for a draw. So at the start, instructions shows you whose turn it is. The move count is set to 0. This spawn new happens with this other script on hit. The main part is that on mouse down, whenever it's clicked, is going to do this spawn new on that game object. So basically, it's going to call this function on the game object that you click. So if it's the cross's turn, is going to instantiate a cross object at the location, and if the object that you're touching is equal to the space name, then it's going to change that name into space dot cross. So just to show you what that means is it all says grid space, but as you play the game, these names will get changed. And I use that to check for the win conditions. So if space 1, 2, and 3 are the same, it's game over, and so on. If it's not game over, then it'll turn the turn to not, and it'll increase the move count. And here is my draw condition. If the move count does equal 9, then it'll enable the win text, disable the instruction text, and the win text will say draw, and then it'll restart the level, which I'll show you that. This is the same, but for not. So again, if the object that you're pressing on does equal that name, then it'll change the name to space plus not. Here are all your win conditions checking. Again, it'll change it to cross's turn and increase the move count by 1. And here's your draw condition, and it'll restart the level. It'll destroy the game object, so it'll destroy the physical grid space, but and replace it with the instantiated not or cross, and then the instruction text will continue to change based on whose turn it is. So in the event of a game over, basically meaning somebody won, it'll enable the win text, disable the instructions, and put whoever's turn it was and that they won. So, and then it'll restart the level. And then the restart level is simply load the scene. I'd like to get it to where it'll delay, or add it to where you can push a button, but I couldn't get it working. But the game is functional, so that's my tic tac toe. Thank you.